What? Trough's up here, you know that.
Jen Lewis is a cattle farmer whose property has been in drought for over 2 years.
Today's a bit of an emotional day. I'm a little bit teary. Because, you know, probably 12 months ago when the, excuse my voice, the drought was hitting, we decided to destock and we got rid of all of our old cows. And we had a really lovely manageable herd. And Hayley and I were managing through the drought, and we'd costed it right up until probably Christmas, the early New Year, and everything was going along really well. And then overnight, basically, we went from managing a drought to absolute total devastation.
A fire emergency is unfolding in the state's north, where it's too late to leave for some residents in the areas of 3 major blazes.
I knew there was a column of smoke up there, but I wasn't worried because we all thought that it was under control. But I knew the conditions were pretty bad, and I was coming out of the house every 10 minutes and just checking on that smoke. And I went out and I went, oh, Hayley, I think we better get ready. That smoke's getting to be a bit of a worry. And it wasn't long after that we got the it's too late to leave emergency phone call. And it was like 10 minutes after that we saw flames.
So
it was quick.
It was quick.
This was not the first time this farm has been threatened by fire. Jen's old farmhouse didn't survive the bushfires of October 2002.
We've got a dam that we built after the last fire. That was Jen's insurance. And with a really good firefighting pump, and we knew we could defend this place.
And then what happens in a bushfire is you see the fire and then this big cloud of smoke just rolls in. You hear the fire and then everything goes dark and you can't see anything. And then you run around and put out spot fires. But we're also trained firefighters, which helped because, you know, after the last fire, we decided that the house burnt down because it was a disaster zone and no one could have saved it, even if we had plenty of water and we were here. So since then, joined the fire brigade, educated ourselves, made this place defendable, and we have been attempting and doing the best we can to educate the community in the same way.
When you choose to live in a bush area like this, you really are on your own.
You are.
You know, it's all about responsibility and choices. And we've really been trying to, all of us, work through a process of what are our roles and responsibilities when we live in a community like this. You know, we're surrounded by trees.
Yeah, and drought and high temperatures. And, you know, I knew that there was no going to be any flashing lights come up that hill that day.
Hi Michaela, this is Hayley calling from Ewingar. How are you going? Oh, we're doing all right, yes, new week.
This time round, Jen and Hayley's preparation and training paid off and they saved their home.
So is there someone that I could speak with?
A remarkable effort, particularly from Hayley, who was in her final round of chemotherapy for ovarian cancer.
We Chemogirl and the cowgirl saved our house.
I must say though, the first week to 10 days, you're still running on that adrenaline. Yeah, and the endorphins kick in because you've saved your place and, you know, you're alive and it's all good. And then the reality of the hard slog just wears you down day after day. I mean, you know the drill. These calves are in reasonable condition considering that early weaned, but unfortunately, the amount of feed you have to give them is just beyond expense, and these calves aren't worth much money. So it's like being caught between a rock and a hard place. If it rains, they'll be worth a lot, but at the moment, no one wants them because they cost money. It gets very depressing coming down here every morning. I'm entering the war zone every morning. It's living in the dust, continually feeding cattle that are always hungry. Every time you go down the paddock in the truck, they just bellow and chase you and you think, oh, you've been fed today, you can't have any more until tomorrow. And it's just heartbreaking. It's more the drought than the fire at the moment. All we need is rain. Be nice to each other. So now I've had the agent out today And basically he's advised me to get rid of all the cows that, basically all but 10, just keep 10 of the best and go through the weaners and do the same thing and basically have something that may be manageable for the next few months. And it's big because it's a young herd and I know them individually and I know that they'll end up with their heads cut off. And it's really hard.
There's Hayley closing the gate on our breeders.
Jen said to me the other day, it's like, you know, we went from drought and we weren't like the people out west who have had such a terrible time for so many years.
Yeah.
But then suddenly fire came and
We're
that
just
actually
lucky
pushed us into a
that
whole
zone.
new zone.